We're going to read Shared Story 13, The Field Trip. Story by Laura Burton Rice, illustrations by Susan Detweiler. And look right here on the cover, you can see a frog, a net, and some shovels. All right, let's begin by reading our green words. We'll try sounding them out together, and then you'll go back and read them yourselves. Here we go. Ants. Wet. Wet. Frog. Frog. Kicks. Hand. Hand. With. Nip. Nip. Net. Pants. Box. Box. Off. Picnic. Pond. Dips. Sand. Mats. Okay, now let's go ahead and we'll read them again really quickly together. Here we go. Ants. Wet. Frog. Kicks. Hand. With. Nip. Net. Pants. Box. Off. Picnic. Pond. Dips. Sand. Mats. Okay, now here's our sight words in this story. Her. H-E-R. Her. Out. O-U-T. Out. Put. P-U-T. Put. And then to. T-O. To. Okay, let's go ahead now. We're going to practice reading the sentences on the bottom. Here we go. Matt sees a frog in the pond. Your turn. Matt sees a frog in the pond. Okay, here we go. Next one. Matt's pants get wet. Matt's pants get wet. Next one. Nan digs in the sand. Nan digs in the sand. Ants get on her hand. Ants get on her hand. Here we go. Ready? Matt sees a frog in the pond. Matt's pants get wet. Nan digs in the sand. Ants get on her hand. All right, now we're going to dive into the story. Miss Tad's class is going on a field trip to the pond. They will find water bugs and plants to study in science class. And here we could see they are preparing for their field trip with food and different objects. I'm going to zoom in and we're going to read together. Let's count the sentences first. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 periods. Okay. Let's read our first sentence. Here we go. Miss Tad packs the picnic box. Miss Tad packs the picnic box. Matt packs cans in sacks. Your turn. Matt packs cans in sacks. And we could see it right there happening. He's putting the cans in the sacks. Nan packs, what does she pack? Shovels. Nan packs shovels. Nick packs mats. Read it again. Nick packs mats. So let's reread again for fluency. Miss Tad packs the picnic box. Matt packs cans in sacks. Nan packs shovels. Nick packs mats. Can you please point to the word packs? Point to the other word packs. The third packs. And the last one. 4 packs on that page. Packs. Let's turn the page now, please, to number 2. The students go to the picnic area on a school bus. The students get out, and Miss Tad tells them to start their science project. What do you think she does while they are busy? Take a look right here. What is she doing? Well, I think that she's getting lunch ready. Let's go ahead and read. Miss Tad puts the picnic on a mat. Let's read. Miss Tad puts the picnic on a mat. Next sentence. The kids dig in the sand. For fluency, let's reread. The kids dig in the sand. Now let's read these 2 sentences together. Miss Tad puts the picnic on a mat. The kids dig in the sand. How many sentences do you see? How many periods? 1, 2. 2 periods. Let's go ahead and turn the page. Page 3. Matt sits at the edge of the pond. He has his net. What does he find in the pond? And look right there. He has his net. And what does he find in the pond? Let's read. A frog is in the pond, says Matt. Let's reread. A frog is in the pond, says Matt. Matt dips the net in the pond. Let's reread. Matt dips the net in the pond. Now we'll reread both sentences for fluency. A frog is in the pond, says Matt. Matt dips the net in the pond. I wonder if he'll catch it. I did see him holding it on the cover. Let's see what happens. Matt tries to catch the frog with his net. The frog is in the net. Let's reread. The frog is in the net. The frog hops out. Oh. Matt is sad. Matt is sad. The frog is back in the pond, says Matt. The frog is back in the pond, says Matt. Let's reread all sentences for fluency. Let's begin. The frog is in the net. The frog hops out. Matt is sad. The frog is back in the pond, says Matt. Look at this and tell me how many sentences are on this page. Or tell yourself. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 periods. Okay, let's look at the next page. The frog splashed Matt when it jumps back into the water. Oh, take a look right there at his pants. They are wet. Let's read. Matt's pants get wet. Matt's pants get wet. Matt sits on the sand. Let's reread. Matt sits on the sand. Nick sits with Matt. Nick sits with Matt. Again, count the sentences on the page. 3 periods. Can you please point to the word Matt? Next, can you please point to the word sits? Very good. Let's turn. All of a sudden, the two boys jump up. What's the matter? Ooh, I wonder. Look at the page. What do you see right there? What do you see on your page? All those little bugs on the bottom. I think those are ants. Let's read. Oh, look at this word. Ants. Ants. Nip. The kids. Nip. That word means to bite. Let's reread. Ants nip the kids. Let's read it. The next line. Ants run on the sand. Ants run on the sand. Matt kicks and sand on the ants. Reread it again. Matt kicks sand on the ants. Last one. Nick kicks and sand on the ants. Let's reread it again. Nick kicks sand on the ants. So again, please count the sentences on this page. 1, 2, 3, 4. Please point to the word ants. Please point to another ants. Now point to another word, ants, A-N-T-S. And point to your last word, ants. Very good. Now how about the word sand? S-and. Here's your first one. Can you point to the second word, sand? And how about the third one? Very good. Okay. So the ants don't like having sand kicked on them, so they run away. Oh my goodness. And look, they're like, beep, 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 right onto her towel. Ooh, and even her hand right there. Let's read. The ants run to the picnic mat. Let's reread. The ants run to the picnic mat. Ants get on Nan. Ants get on Nan. Ants get on her and hand. Let's reread. Ants get on her hand. And Nan puts the ants in a can. Nan puts the ants in a can. How many sentences are on this page? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, can you please point to the word ants again? Ants. Can you point to another ants? Ants. How about another ants? Ants. And how about our last ants? Ants. All right, let's turn the page. Nan gets some ants for science class, but there are too many ants at the picnic now. Let's read. The frog hops on the picnic mat. Let's read it. The frog hops on the picnic mat. The ants run off the mat. The ants run off the mat. How many sentences here? 1, 2. Can you please point to the word picnic? Picnic. What about the word mat? Mat. Mat and mat. And how about the word frog? Frog. Frog. Our last word to find is hops. 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 Let's reread the last page for fluency. Here we go. The frog hops on the picnic mat. The ants run off the mat. So it looks like the frog saved the day and the kids get to eat their lunch in peace. All right, so that was our story called The Field Trip. And in the very back, there are questions. Number 1, did Matt see ants in the pond? Were they inside the pond? Yes or no? Number 2, did the kids dig in the sand? Yes or no? And number 3, did Nan put ants in a can? Yes or no? Okay. So our answers are, did Matt see ants in the pond? The answer is no. He did not see ants in the pond. He saw a frog. Did the kids dig in the sand? Yes, they did dig in the sand right here in the beginning of the story. Look, right when they got there, Miss Tad was putting the picnic on a mat and the kids dig in the sand. Did Nan put ants in a can? Number 3. Did Nan put ants in a can? Well, let's look. Right back here in the story. Nan puts the ants in a can. So the book tells us, yes, she did. Did the ants get the picnic in the end? Did the ants get the picnic? No. The frog ate the ants. The frog ate the ants. Period. All right, boys and girls, I hope you have a really great day today. Thank you for reading the story, The Field Trip with Me. And until next time, see you later.